by Lydia Hadfield. Setting, book and gift shop. Time, present day. Closing time. Act 1, a shopping trip. A well-heeled woman totters into the shop, her manicures wrapped around the strings of several glossy, oversized shopping bags. The rumpled yet professional employee is reorganizing a display of small inspirational novelty books by the register. Cambria sat... Okay.
May I help you?
Thank you!
What are you looking for today?
Well, I have 52 friends and relatives on my list covered, except for my best girlfriend, Biddy.
Employee is thinking about suggesting a cupcake coffee table book or a novel about divorcees plagued by suitors.
But I want it to be Christmassy and
Oh.
classic.
We do have some gilt-edged editions of Louisa May Alcott's Christmas.
No. It's not what I need at all. Something more vintage, like beyond classic, you know? I'm talking about the essence of Christmas. Do you understand?
Well, let's see. More like this?
Employee shows Cambria a book titled Sacred Traditions from Around the World.
No! Oh, God, no. Nothing so liberal.
Cambria's left ankle wobbles in her 4-inch silver heels.
I'm talking old world.
Dickens?
I'm talking something European and oak-aged. Think like that. That is Biddy's brand.
What does Biddy like to read?
Nutrition labels and price tags. I don't know. This isn't for her to read as much as it is for me to give, okay? Does that help you? Isn't this your job?
She stabs a gel polish nail assigned by the register, reading, "Recommendations free."
I'm doing my best. I'm trying to think.
Well, I'm in a hurry.
Of course. I just, well, maybe...
Think woody. Think old, leathery, but cute.
She could help you.
Is there anyone else working in this place? Your manager?
Miss Snaggle might be able to help you.
Okay, now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah, you know what? Follow me.
Cambria teeters behind the employee, past bookshelves full of fresh pulp and ink, stationery, board games, puzzles, and chirpy sayings printed on infinity scarves. Employee pushes open the door at the back of the shop. Cambria hesitates before following.
Is she in her office?
Well, yes.
Employee chuckles darkly. The hallway is gray, narrow, dimly lit. Cambria struggles to fit herself and her jewel-toned nylon string shopping bags behind the employee. The effect of it is a leggy chihuahua playing live-action Tetris in a garbage chute turned horizontal as Cambria hurriedly fumbles and refigures her goods.
Down the stairs.
I'm allergic to mildew, full disclosure.
Through this door.
Sounds of beeps, rumbles, and industrial hums.
Is this the utility room? These tights aren't supposed to get over 90 degrees Fahrenheit. This herringbone will splinter.
Sorry for the inconvenience, ma'am. We're renovating. Miss Snaggle is right this way. Up these stairs and...
Is this a ladder? This is a ladder.
Watch your step.
Oh my God.
Miss Snaggle is living in the backstock room and she's very knowledgeable.
Wait, living? Where are the lights?
At the top of the ladder, Cambria and employee are enveloped in cosmic darkness. Employee knocks on what's presumably a door. The knock sounds suspiciously as though employee is tapping out jingle bells.
Miss Snaggle?
The sound of a door opening.
Sorry to disturb you, but a customer asked for your assistance. She needs a Christmas gift for a friend. Something old and Christmassy. She wants a story with... What words did you use?
This is ridiculous. Someone turn on the light or I'm calling the police. I have Verizon. My Uber is waiting for me.
European, oak-edged, woody.
A match strikes at the darkness. A gnarled hand nimbly lights 2 lanterns. The lanterns sway. They are hanging from what could be twine, wild grapevines, or poison sumac. The room takes shape. Books piled high toward an unseeable ceiling. A low table with strange beverage-making apparatuses. French coffee presses, teapots. What appears to be milky, half-drunk glasses of absinthe and ornate silver loosing spoons.
Thank you, Alice.
One didn't immediately notice Miss Snaggle, but there she is. An ancient, unobvious figure in a dirndl skirt, scarves, and librarian glasses. She sits on a wooden stool next to the low table.
You know what? I think I can just find something on Amazon.
Sit.
Snaggle points to a low leather stool.
I just remembered I have a wine appointment.
Sit.
Cambria attempts to seat herself with poise, but collapses in a tangle of shopping bags and toned limbs. Cambria's stool is uncomfortably close to Snaggle's seat, but Cambria is the only one who is uncomfortable.
So, you have come for the story.
Actually, a little gift set would probably...
It is time.
It is getting late, and you are closing. I'll just mosey on out. Don't worry, I have a flashlight on my cell phone, and I can just...
Cambria makes motions as if to rise from the stool. Snaggle leans over deftly, removes one of Cambria's silver-spangled high heels, and puts the heel of the shoe in her mouth. Snaggle presses the heel against the teeth of her lower palate until the heel snaps off of the shoe. Cambria gasps. Snaggle tosses the flimsy silver sole into the dark stacks and holds onto the bitten-off heel. She pours a river-muddy mixture out of the French press into a china teacup. Snaggle plops a few sugar cubes into the brew. She then stirs the liquid in her teacup with Cambria's amputated glittering stiletto.
You came for the story.
Snaggle sucks briefly on the end of the heel, then sets it daintily on a saucer by her feet. She swigs her brew in one gulp.
Oh, just a little teensy, little Christmas story.
Then you shall know.
Snaggle flings her cup against stacks of books. It smashes. The Tower of Tomes shiver.
Fuck!
I will tell you. I will tell you the tale of the Crimby Beast.
Act 2, The Tale of the Crimby Beast.
Once upon a time, long stale, there was a soulful creature called Crimby Beast. In the winter he slumber crawled, a-tunnelin' through the deep and ice-crusted snow. Winter lasted in this time. It was the greatest season, back when greatest meant most terrible. It was a time of hunger, a time of threat and low skies. Animals scrabbled at the fringe of sight, always stalking, often near. It was a time for trapped rot madness, uncurling slowly like a maggot in frozen guts. It was a hunger time of rote work, hiding, and conversation. Oh, winter! Dark! Sharp! Through this winter the Crimby Beast tunneled through the snow, unseen, heterothermic, slowly pulling time through the winter with its forward crawl. But on the darkest night, one could glimpse the Crimby Beast as it surfaced for a breath of stars. In a forest clearing, the beast emerged. Tusks first, then nozzle, the horn, spine, tail, carbunculars, glittering claws. The earth rumbled as it shook snow from its glossy black and diamond fur coat. Oh, Crimby Beast, the heart of winter, vast and fearsome as death. Its unimaginable maw, glorious in its sinewy animality. Hot blood pumped through hot breath through its snoot. And as the beast breathed the light sky, its breath billowed out in crystalline clouds, freezing, shining and tinkling in a treble symphony as its respiration froze into ice and fell to earth. Oh! And if the moon by chance drew its cloak of clouds and lent light to the Crimby Beast, oh, the beast shone with radiant light. Its respiration danced and dripped from ice-covered branches in the forest. Impossible as it was for our eyes to grasp the entire shape of the enormous Crimby Beast, we could feel it, enduring, matted, damp, and stinking, but suddenly alive. And there, and bright. Suddenly, it brought the sleeping soil to the frozen surface. The smell reminded us of the long-away spring towards which we tunneled. Our still surviving breath danced in the light. A celebration! We celebrated the Crimby Beast in its midwinter pause, its moment of surfacing. We rang bells to echo its treble symphony of breath. We feasted to celebrate its animal girth. We surprised each other with secret whittlings and crafts to honor the surprise of a Crimby Beast sighting. Transformation! We were realized in winter's stark reality. Our need for communion and light was strong as we gathered around the Crimby Beast, our long-brewed fruits of the air.
Excuse me, is this a Celtic or pagan thing? I know about that. My name means Welsh, and that's basically as Celtic as you can get. But is this like a Kabbalah or a Scientology thing? I mean, it sounds kind of mysticky and culty. Because we might consider this a little too.
You came for the story.
Well, sure. Is that the story? I mean, it's nice and fairy tale-y, but I wanted something more beginning, middle, and endy with a good moral. But like, not the kind of moral that makes you feel guilty or bad about yourself. Because none of us have time for that, am I right? You can't get through this season if you put a penny in every old man's hat, right? That's how the nursery rhyme goes.
Quiet!
What about something with a period, like Victorian or George?
Quiet! I'll start again. Don't interrupt.
Act 3. The Tale of Lord Santa Jaws.
Lord Santa Jaws loved Christmas.
Now we're talking!
Quiet! He threw the most resplendent parties in the land. His manse was always the brightest come Christmas time. His table groaned under the generosity of his banquets. To say he decked the halls would be an understatement. He knocked them out with decor. As soon as a lucky select guest opened the doors of Santa Jaws' house, one would be greeted with the fine music of trumpeters, lutists, and bell ringers in the foyer. Children in angel costume took one's hand and led one to the piney forest in the banquet hall, the golden sitting room, or yes, the frankincense-strewn toilet chamber. However, the celebrate Santa Jaws' observance without mentioning his presence? How could you? Let it be known that I understand the true meaning of Christmas saying Santa Jaws. His smile beamed beatifically above his full white beard. A guest could expect a gift at each visit. Every party climaxed with a choir of carolers and a shower of gifts. How can you be so generous, as guests cried. My heart is just full of Christmas, Santa Jaws replied. Some suggested it was because Santa Jaws wept alone. His relatives had all died, and Lord Santa Jaws produced no children, not even the customary clutch of bastards expected from a bachelor. His great heart just needs to give, his lucky friends nodded. With a heart like his and an empty house, what's a lord to do? However, it wasn't entirely true that Lord Santa Jaws presided over an empty house. He was not the lone resident of one of the 184 rooms in his manse, or the 48 chambers in each of his 3 outbuildings. How indeed could the Lord afford to be so generous? Certainly he planned ahead. In November, he assembled his household retinue, a cast of numbering in the scores. Santa Jaws addressed them from the main staircase of the Santa Jaws house. The cooks, the cleaners, the maids, the craftsmen, the tinkers, the seamstresses, the musicians, the theatrical players, and everyone else all received their seasonal orders. If it is to be the best Christmas yet, we must keep to a strict schedule and work diligently. Yes, my lord, the workers answered. Christmas is for everyone, Lord Santa Jaws said, and any able-bodied person in my service greater than the age of 4 is expected to contribute to the festivities. You should all be honored to be a part of the Santa Jaws observance, the finest Christmas observance in the land. Santa Jaws paused to make room for shouts of approval. Woo! It was true that the Santa Jaws servants ate better food than most servants at nearby houses when they had time to eat furtively and fast. It was true also that they received the best doctor's attention when they fell ill, when finally they collapsed in the middle of their labor. It was also true that their wage was better than neighboring servants, yet it was never quite enough for them to leave and begin a different kind of work. nor did they receive extra pay for their holiday work, the labors that Lord Santa Claus claimed they should perform joyously in the spirit of the season. From his place, the first landing of the great staircase, Santa Claus proclaimed, "Let the fun begin!" He clapped his hands, and the servants scrambled to their post, crying children warned by the parents, the elderly shuffling as upright as possible to show they were fit for holiday service. Every year, Santa Claus demanded more from Christmas and the workers. Every year, preparations began earlier. The servants volunteered longer hours to the task. This year, there will be 2 more life-size gingerbread houses, Santa Claus cried. 2 years later, he demanded, "There must be 4. Dame Eleganza must have 5 exquisite charms for her bracelet, and then 10. The music must play before and after dinner. No! This year the horns will sound from the moment the first slipper crosses the threshold to the moment Count Fortescue passes out in the punch bowl." What? Which punch bowl? Any of the 7. Each Christmas, Lord Santa Claus's white beard grew longer and demanded more careful bleaching. His robes required more gold thread and interwoven jewels. His Christmas crown, the talk of the town, was elaborated with red berried branches. Yes, but these things did not happen by magic. The chambermen nursed their bleach-cracked hands. Servants sewed by lamplight. Children fought with ravens in the garden for the choice berry-laden branches. The banquet table groaned under the weight of dishes. The walls ran with hot wax from added candles. The guests, arms full of presents, could barely see each other through the prisms of wine glasses on the table. Yes, first there was a glass for each course, and then one for each bite of food. The most decorated tree in the pine-forested banquet hall was behind Lord Santa Claus's throne. It leaned precipitously over his head with a burden of added and added ornament. "This year will be the best Christmas ever," Santa Claus roared. The fiddlers played until they wept and their fingertips bled. The portions met the guests' eyes with their towering garnishes. The guests grew giddier and giddier. They were dazzled. They were embraced by mounds of presents. The tree behind Santa Claus dipped into his tureen of pudding. The Lord's appetite became more ravenous with each year, never submitting to the menu's increase. He cried out for more. This year, Lord Santa Claus barely paused to lift his embroidered napkin to his beard. He ate multiple dishes at once. He clutched a spoon in each fist, pudding and candied yams and sparrowgrass tart. The branches of the bending tree behind him mingled with the sauce. Ornaments tangled themselves in Santa Claus's beard and hung from the bend of his spoons. In his frenzy, Lord Santa Claus was eating the ornaments. A glass bubble crunched over his tongue. A long string of beard wrapped around the sparrowgrass spear, and he sucked it down his throat. Santa Claus was choking, but no guest or servant could hear his plight over the noise of the horns and shouts of the jugglers. The guests were nearly motionless under their gifts, hands scrabbling for food on the table. Unable to bear its festive dressing any longer, the tree crashed over the Lord's throne, driving his face into the pudding tureen. A tree knocked a wall sconce, which knocked another, and another. Toosh, toosh, toosh. The dancing lights hit, then the light bowls of punch. The tablecloth caught fire. The present wrappings crinkled and burned. The household screamed, "Ah!" and fled. The guests disentangled and defenestrated out the first floor windows. The blaze grew. It ate yards of tinsel and tinder. The servants and gentry evacuated into the snowy night. They ran, clutching each other's hands, pausing only when they traveled a fair distance. They stood, shivering and breathing hard in the snow. watching Lord Santa Claus's mansion burn. The flaming fury hit the night, lit the night. It was truly the brightest Christmas had ever burned.
Well, that's just awful.
Snaggle picks up the broken heel from the saucer and handles it thoughtfully.
They didn't have fire extinguishers or sprinkler systems or anything back then, huh? Wow.
Snaggle mimes poking out her own eye with the heel.
Maybe I was wrong. Maybe the woody European thing isn't Biddy's thing. Can you give me something more modern?
Snaggle drops the heel in despair.
Something that sparkles.
What? Oh, please be quiet. Only once more.
Act 4, the tale of Crunk Kringle.
Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house not a creature was stirring except for one souse. Souse.
Souse.
Souse.
Yep.
Thank you. Try to rhyme. A last-minute present wrapping sesh was his plan. Just after he watched a YouTube vid of his friend Dan. It being Christmas Eve, he was feeling quite merry. He was drinking eggnog rum, though he'd given up dairy. He had one roll of wrapping paper, not quite enough, but he was planning to go out and get other stuff. He hadn't bought his mom a gift, nor one for his sister. Instead, the week before, he'd bought himself a snifter. He was scarce on dough, his bread unlikely to leaven. Good thing Walmart was open 24/7. The rum swam neath his lids, it wasn't far to the door. He reached it as soon as he got off the floor. He struggled to his feet and stepped up on his tablet. I thought that was a burp. Twas his curse, he did babble it. To balance his ass, he put his hands on the wall. He'd better eat something or he wouldn't go out at all. A plate of cookies was set out for Santa. He quickly devoured it with 2 cans of Fanta. He was suddenly struck by an attack of the sneezes. God bless me, he thought, but who cares about Jesus? This whole holiday was silly, a joke made for man. What was he to do? Oh, watch a vid of friend Dan. He turned round to return to his tablet to peer o'er, when by chance he caught a glimpse in the mirror. Santa! He cried. His vision was blurring. I've been goddamn good! His speech was slurring. In his surprise, he slipped. His socks had no friction. He apologized to Santa for his profane diction. In surrender, he fell asleep. His snores came without warning. The next thing he heard was, Merry Christmas! Good morning! Oh my God! What did you do?
Is that it?
Yes.
Can I go now?
Go!
Cambria struggles to her feet.
Thanks so much. I gotta go. Happy holidays. Have a nice day.
Cambria exits. Snaggle sighs and looks at the glittery, broken-off high heel in her hand. A distinctive knock sounds on the door. The door opens. It's the employee.
I'm grabbing Chinese tonight. You want to come with?
Sure.
The end.